question.
Fucking awesome.
You sound insane.
No, you sound insane.
You're bothered by what I post. I don't give a
And
shit
I
what you
unfollowed
post.
because I didn't want to see it
And
no
I
more.
don't give. Jesus Christ, she don't understand.
I
She posts what
understand
she wants, and I don't
100%.
give a shit.
All right. Let me just mediate real fast.
I understand. Trust me.
This is
I
insane.
understand.
Shay. Simply put,
I understand.
I will tell you this
I do.
because I still follow him.
Oh man. Now she didn't turn directly to him because now you're a man on edge. Now you have absolutely no sense of self. You've gone into the moment. He's talking about, oh, I don't care about you. I don't care about you. He just unhinged, man. Up to this point, I know they have like 3-hour shows, and I believe probably up to this point, he's probably been sitting up there spitting knowledge for 2. You spitting knowledge for 2 hours, and then you get to screaming at the end, talking about I'm smarter than you, my degree, and I make money. Not a good way to go, man. When you become unhinged like that, from a girl bringing up some stuff, imagine the next situation. Imagine if it's a situation it's life or death. You make the wrong move because you're overcome by fear or an emotion like anger or something like that. You make that wrong move. These are the practice arenas. This is when you sharpen your sword of self-control. And when you strike out in a situation like this, now this is a public platform. You would say it's even bigger than practice, but when you strike out at stuff like this, what happens when the real big stuff happens? And you need to be grounded in that situation in order to prevail. You need to take a deep breath, brother. And if it gets that bad, walk your ass out the room. But that's also a cop-out. If you can't take the heat, get your ass out the kitchen.
He makes fun of everybody.
No, he don't.
He does. He does.
don't.
He just
Now-
pulled up a couple posts.
Yeah, like so whether he, I mean, I guess you can try to make an argument that he disproportionately insults black women more, makes jokes on them more, but he makes fun of everyone. And this is kind of
Twitter like 50 Cent.
the issue. Like, if you don't like content, just don't watch it, and that's it. You know what I mean? You
And
don't
I
have to like-
unfollowed. That's why I don't watch it. But
That's-
I just wanted to address him for it. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know he would be here tonight. I always wanted to question him that. He texted my phone
You
and
didn't
asked
even
me and check
accept
up
the
on
answer.
me just to make sure that I'm good, and I respect that. But I don't reply because I simply don't respect him more because he's just the fact that what he posts on the gram, and it's just like what you texting me for, and you do all this to try to play black women like they just
he
always
cares.
ignorant or don't fucking know shit. Like you can't do
Because
that.
he cares.
Period.
Think about it. Listen to what she
If
just
you
said.
care,
He
you
checked
wouldn't
on to see if I was
downplay
okay,
it.
but
If you care, you wouldn't
He would ask you how
downplay
you're
it.
He's trying to benefit in your image, though.
Can we just have this debate, please? Nobody else.
But you're not listening to me when I speak.
It's-
You're telling me what I should be doing instead of asking me why I do it.
I
And accept-
asked you why.
And when I accept it, when I told
asked you why. That was my first
even
question.
now when I'm saying, when I said, I asked you why. And when I asked you why. And when I asked you why.
And I asked you why. Continue.
All right, so Shay, simply put, he makes his content. You might not like how he disproportionately
And
makes
I
fun of black
unfollow.
women.
Now, at that point, her tone and her emotion is rising as well. She's saying the same thing over. She kind of been saying the same thing over and over for about 10 minutes. But that's when you put the joint down. Put the damn drink down. You got to drive home. You know what I mean? Put it down. Okay. At a certain point, it's okay. If you've been around somebody enough, you learn their habits and how they actually move. I got a doggone boss. He always got something to say, something slick, sharp tongue with it. But I don't even know if she realize it anymore because she just talk crazy to people all the time. You don't have to accept it, but you accept that this is that person. You can go at it all day. And trust me, she's heard from me. But at the end of the day, if you're going to stay at that job, if you like what you do, you accept people for who they are. This is a jerk. They might say something that's a little sideways. That's how they act. It's not going to get to you. It's just going to be a fact of life. Now, if you want to change your situation, change your situation. But if you're in a overall favorable situation, somebody's a little goofy or somebody talks crazy or somebody, does something, characterize that person around that thing. Now, this is after multiple times seeing it. And then you say, okay, this is part of their character traits. You'll never be surprised again. You can just look at that joint like, Yeah, okay. You know,
But yeah, you have the right to do that. I mean,
Facts.
yeah. So
Everybody does.
it's just a little
Yeah.
like it's like it's like if you don't like something, just don't watch it. You know
I
what mean?
don't. That's why I unfollowed 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I don't
so-
want to see it,
so
but I didn't know he
right.
would be here to ask him that question today.
Okay. Yet not
You get
accept
what I'm
his answer.
saying?
She wanted clarity. All right. Well,
That's
No, she
it.
doesn't.
I think that
She wants to be able to control the person because
I don't
when you
wanna
want
control
clarity,
it. I just
when
wanna know
someone-
why.
If I wanted
That's
to know
it.
why a girl didn't want to date me, if she says it, that's the answer. Not to argue with this girl as she states it. You don't
Tommy,
tell
you-
well what you should do. No,
Tommy,
you shouldn't.
Tommy
That
funny as
person is
fuck
saying-
though.
Tommy,
It's
you
really
ask
funny
a
as fuck because like we
You
ain't gonna
get
even
an
get in
answer
that
to a
subject.
question.
You know what I would
What?
not
I know
even
what?
get it
You
into that
you got an
subject.
answer to a question. You asked why do I
Like,
post what I
would get
post?
into
You
the
got an
subject
answer.
so bad, but I'm
OnlyFans.
trying not to.
This is the most
Like,
ridiculous
let's be
shit
honest.
in the world.
He talk about so many black people on his platform, but this nigga was trying to fuck a bad bitch like me. Like, stop playing. Like,
okay, see that now that's the point where it's like, hey, I'm done arguing with you. You've shown your cards. When you bring that to the table, that's when you realize, okay, this is why you started the argument in the first place. She was talking about texting, you texting me and XYZ, and now we get to the crux of the argument. So they're both in their bag. She's been in her bag. She started in her bag. Her first argument was type emotional. The reason I was on the gentleman, Tommy Sotomayor, is because you're supposed to see that argument, break it down. Okay, she's coming from, her side of the bag. Move forward with logic so as that you don't have to get up out of your shell, because the emotion is that soft inside. Your shell is that strong, logical exterior. When you get outside of that with the soft, mushy part, imagine a turtle walking around with no shell. He don't have much time. His ass is getting smushed, coming soon. So this dude is about to expose himself.
Do you
flew
hear
me-
this shit?
He flew me to him
And your friend.
and my friend.
And
so
fuck
what you're
your
saying?
friend. Why the hell are
And
you
you
sitting
didn't
here
fuck
doing
me.
this?
And you didn't fuck
So why are
me.
you doing this?
Because
What's
you
your
knew
friend?
niggas was trying
Yo, I'm
to
telling you,
like
let me
niggas
know.
was trying to act
she
right
was.
now in front of a camera.
How am I hold on.
Let's be
How am I
honest.
trying to act?
What was her race?
Nigga
How
knew
am
he
I
couldn't
trying
even
to act?
get the
We need the
pussy
race.
'cause
How am I trying to
literally-
act?
Did he just expose who he busted? It sounded like he just exposed, and I bust your friend. We don't do that in any circumstance, brother. Especially not in public. Come on, dog. What are you gaining from that? And that's the type of mistakes that you make when your emotion completely takes over your logic.
Let's be
How am I
honest.
trying to act? This is why black bitches get kicked out of clubs and shit.
I don't
This
give
bitch
a
just
fuck
came up
what,
here
because
acting
it's the
stupid.
truth.
You're
It's
acting
the truth.
stupid.
I'm not acting stupid.
Yes, you are.
I'm
Y'all,
not.
you were trying to fuck
Why
me.
you getting so
This is
mad?
stupid.
It's
Because
the
you're
truth.
being dumb.
It's
You're
the
being
truth.
ignorant.
I'm not being ignorant. It's the truth.
Bitch, you flew to my house. You said you wanted
Exactly.
to fuck. This is
And
stupid.
I didn't pull
I didn't tell
up the
people you
fucking
said it.
messages where I said I
This
wanted
is
to
dumb. You
fuck.
literally did.
No, I did
What's
not.
the pussy good?
Yo,
You
this
told
is
me
stupid.
that we were going
This
on a
is dumb.
podcast for your
Yo,
show
this
on
is
OnlyFans.
ignorant.
Wait.
This is
Completely airing out all the dirty laundry. This dude is yelling at this point. He's facing her, fist balled up. This is getting to a scary point. You forget yourself once you're taken by the emotion like that. You become the embodiment of the emotions. You're literally not yourself. And once you do that, you could do anything.
It's fucking dumb.
I got all the
This
receipts
bitch
in
wants
my
somebody
phone.
to know somebody
I can
tried to
dead
fuck
ass
her
pull
'cause
that
I
shit
want to fuck
out.
And she's a porta
All right.
potty.
No, I'm not a party potty. Tell me what nigga shitted on me.
Bitch, shut up.
Tell me
Jesus
what nigga
Christ.
should know, because it's
You
the
want
truth.
people to know. You
You're
are
mad.
wanting to let somebody
You're-
know I tried to
this
fuck
nigga
you. This is stupid.
mad
All right.
because
Because
I
why?
don't
Because
follow
why?
him,
Wait,
and
Shay,
I
Tommy.
didn't fuck him on
Shay.
OnlyFans. I didn't want to fuck him.
Is
because
your
I'm not
weed
type
that
of
tight
bitch.
today,
I
ma'am?
get money
Is
in
the
real
glute
life.
fucking with you?
Niggas pay me. Do you hear me?
This bitch
I
is.
didn't-
Here's just completely having a straight screaming match. And then there comes the truth. And he was trying to get at it. That was a conversation they should have had in private. And he could have had another chance. The way you have another chance with a woman is calm your ass down. Keep your expectations low, for the beginning. Whatever situation it is. If she's up there and screaming in your face, or, she got something that's making her feel a certain type of way, just chill. Maybe you might have to take a couple deep breaths. And it's the best if you could throw a little jokey joke in there. He wanted to bust me. girl, you know I could have busted that thing. That's light work. Da da da. You know that's something funny, something goofy. But at the worst of it, you go serious with it. Girl, you know I would never bust that thing. I would never get into that with you. I would not do that. Or, you know what I mean? But the worst thing you could ever do is, girl, I ain't trying to mess with you. I would never do that. Nah, that's not how you, because that woman is gone. And she's going to tell some people too. Didn't you know he was talking to me crazy? You are making a lot of silent enemies when you go the emotional route.
And acting stupid.
I'm not drunk. I'm dead ass not drunk.
You dead ass drunk and
I'm
stupid.
not drunk. I promise to God.
That
I'm
weed
not
too
drunk.
tight and you need a different kind of
God
glue.
knows I'm
All right.
not drunk right
Chris,
now. God
Dumb
knows.
son of a bitch. Just up here just being
you're
ignorant for
dumb.
no reason.
No. He not finna try to play me on
Who's
the
playing you, stupid bitch?
No, bitch, you fucking stupid.
Nobody's playing your cat too
Get off me.
nigga.
Boy got up, was the exact same size he was when he was sitting down. That's a small man. A lot of harsh words is super unnecessary. Super unnecessary. And now they're both standing in each other's face. Like I said, that emotion comes, it's all the same string. The intensity line of emotions. Let's see. It started with sexual frustration, sexual tension, because he said he was trying to bust it. It turned into straight out sexual desire, because he said he was hitting the phone, he wanted to hit it. Now, after the fact, it seems like it's turned into frustration on her part, because they turned it down, they didn't release that sexual tension, and then they go and she's watching his Instagram, still was debating, you know, whether to give him some or not, because clearly he didn't mess it up yet. She saw the content, she didn't like it, she was frustrated. She unfollowed him. She made a move. He keeps it pushing. He's doing well in this. So they get together and she brings the frustration from the beginning of the unmitigated sexual tension. She brings that frustration to the podcast. And they get on the podcast, and that frustration boils over into anger with them putting all the emotions onto the table. But how Tommy Sotomayor could have played it was, hey, listen, he could have known in the back of his head all their experience they've been through and said, listen, I know how you feel about my content. It is triggering. But that's my content. That's what I put out, and that's why I care about it. I care about it because X, Y, Z. Break that down. She come back around with the same argument. But I don't get why a black man would say that about black people. Okay, I just explained to you this. I'm not about to explain it again. That's the rules. That's the game. You calm that ass down. She hitting your phone that night. She may be hitting your phone that night, but you haven't created a silent enemy. You just created an opportunity to restate your mission statement. You know what I mean? Logic gets you in places that you didn't think you would be able to get into. You would turn a potential negative into a positive. But he's done the opposite. Now they're both standing the same height, mind you. And let's see what happens. Okay, so it ends in fisticuffs. Something on that trajectory, we shouldn't be surprised the way it ended. They were at each other's throats. It started amicably, excuse me. It seemingly started amicably, but as she escalated, as she brought the argument back around the second time, he just hopped on a doggone carousel and went right with her. No, you gotta calm your ass down, man. You need to check that. and he could have gotten a supporter, yet he turned everybody into an enemy. Nobody wants to be around that person. Listen, back in college days, back in high school days, that guy, he was a cool guy. The guy, fighting at the parties all the time. But you hang out with him 2 and 3 times, it's like, he about to get to fighting. He got all this drama going on in his life. I can't keep hanging out with him. That's not a sustainable energy to keep around you. So when people see you act like that, it's not long before they fall off. And Tommy out here dragging the women around and throwing punches at women, and same height as women. This man needs to be stopped. You got to keep your emotion in check, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Lucy.